financial companies. And now on the foreign front, more than 100 civilians abducted by militants in Mozambique's Cabo Delgado province have been rescued. Thanks for joining us. And first in the news, so news just coming in is that some
All right. Sure thing. Good night.
Hey, baby.
What's that?
My lawyer.
Okay. I'm starving.
You're starving?
Let's go and get something to eat.
What do you want to eat?
You?
Me?
a bit is what Lushi market.
But is there a way? I was hearing right, but it looks like now I can't hear it. How's the fire? Obviously, you can see I've taken off my nose mask because we don't know what was fired into the air. But for once, everyone started itching, and then our face were hurting as though we were sprayed with pepper. Whatever thing it was fired into the air, and then it started choking us short of breath. Our eyes were not opening, so my camera lady and myself plus my driver had to run for our lives, enter into people's homes, get water to wash our face, drink, wash our head, because virtually every part of our bodies were burning. So from there, we had to move through the slum, so to speak, to secure another place here in ABGOBGLOSHIE, so we can still cover the extent to which this scaffold will be going. So right there in your shot on my extreme left, you can see that most of the youth have moved into where the scrabulers used to settle, some parts of the settlement of the scrabulers, and then the military, the police, the fire service have taken over the streets, still trying to ensure calm. We don't really know what was fired, but within this meaning the past 2 to 3 minutes, we have been in pain. We just revived and then we are back on the ground.
This morning we arrived, they didn't inform anybody. All of a sudden we come, we know that they are going to remove the owner sellers here. They save them a letter, they give them a date. But for us, they didn't even give us letter. They didn't give us any date that they are going to remove us. All of a sudden we come this morning, they start mixing the things, they pull all our mouths down, they mix our things very strongly. We don't understand what they are doing here. You understand? So what we are appealing to government is that we are Ghanaians. At least we are not animals. We are human beings. We understand? We have to come to terms. We will sit down. We want to remove you people from this place. At least they will give us some place as they give to the Onyo place, so that we also prepare ourselves and go.
What kind of sign up as well?
They are not inform anybody at all. They not inform anybody. Nobody is nobody.
We need Jennifer not to it's one more plot. So I'm not as I show me one moment not to say no to go. But yeah, scrap just one baby and oh, I did see about a work from the map. Until yes, you get to say before I question MPP officers. Yana or no abai. Which has a name, some titles and stick on the church because of ballot box on Basano, Binomo Dano Confor, because Binomo Jobici and Yakaka credit. What you say? Best is a Bubu Bia, one boy Bia Mania, say, your boy, show me the say. This is what you say.
That was my colleague Shadrach Odamejare interacting with some persons who have been affected by the relocation plan by the Accra minister. Now let's go back to Shadrach Odamejare, who joined us on phone for more details as to what exactly is happening at ABGOBGLOSHIE Market this afternoon. Shadrach.
Right, I can hear you.
So what more can you report?
Well, the initial reports were that the regional minister, Henry Kwakye, was coming back to
ABGOBGLOSHIE with his team to move onion sellers to the new Adjen Kotoku market. Fast forward, there was a scuffle between the scrap dealers here in ABGOBGLOSHIE and then the task force, which comprised the Ghana Army, the police, and then the fire service. Why? Because according to them, they were not consulted, and per the initial plan, they were not supposed to vacate their current location. It was to be the onion sellers. So they did not understand why authorities would then come up this morning to move them from their settlement here in ABGOBGLOSHIE. So the irate youth and the executives here decided to march or go on a demonstration around the Old Fadama NPP party office. Within some few minutes, they started pulling everything down, billboards, tearing flyers, and then entered the Old Fadama NPP office here at ABGOBGLOSHIE. They pulled out every refrigerator, television set, and then ransacked the whole place, and then later set some parts of the NPP office ablaze, just in a bit to register their displeasure of what happened here in the morning. So later on, the joint task force, which is the military, police, fire service, had to come in to restore calm. But also, as part of measures or in their bid to restore calm, some tear gas were fired. And then that was how come our live report was interrupted, because we all had to run to safety. At a point we went blank, we were not able to see anything, and then having difficulty in breathing. The whole place was choked. Getting fresh air was quite difficult, so we had to run to safety and then later on speak to other people. But then the secretary of the ABGOBGLOSHIE Spare Parts Dealers Association has also hinted that Henry Kwakye is moving or demolishing structures, but not human beings. Therefore, they are not going to move away from ABGOBGLOSHIE until government or authorities involved give them a very good place to relocate, as the first place that was given out to them at Adjen Kotoku is quite small. According to them, it's just 2 plots of land, which is small for the number of people occupying the spare parts dealers plot. Right.
All right, Shadrach, so in your earlier interaction with some personnel who actually deal or sell spare parts, they indicated that they don't know where they've been asked to go, and that they will plead with government to give them extra time, or even prepare a place for them to go, like it's been done to the onion sellers. Are they also joining them at Adjen Kotoku?
Well, the initial plan, according to them, was for them to join the onion sellers at Adjen Kotoku. But then they got there, and then from what the General Secretary of the Spare Parts Dealers Association told me, they got there, and then the MC for Adjen Kotoku told them they have no place at Adjen Kotoku, the newly constructed Adjen Kotoku market, and that's the only available place for them if they should be allowed to occupy the market. Is just some 2 plots of land that has been left aside, apart from where the onion sellers were supposed to settle. Even that, it is not enough for them, because from his estimation, there are about 3,000 scrap dealers here in ABGOBGLOSHIE. So for them to even locate and occupy the whole of the newly constructed Adjen Kotoku market is still insufficient for them.
All right, thank you, Shadrach Odamejare, for that update there live from ABGOBGLOSHIE here in Accra. And so Shadrach is our correspondent here at Metro TV. Let's now go and look at other stories, still focusing on issues of security. And Interior Minister Ambrose Derry is expected to name a 3-member committee that will be tasked to inquire into the sequence of event, crowd routing and crowd control methods in EJURA on June 29, 2021. This follows a presidential directive to probe the incidences leading to the killing of 3 persons in the Ashanti regional town. There is more in the following report.
The committee has 10 days to submit its report. The President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on Wednesday instructed the Minister for Interior, Ambrose Derry, to conduct a public inquiry into the circumstances that led to the unfortunate occurrences of Tuesday, 29th June 2021. The statement signed by the Communications Director at the Presidency indicated that the Interior Minister is to provide a detailed report from the inquiry with recommendations for appropriate action within 10 days, that is by 9th July 2021, to the President Akufo-Addo. The Minister of Information, Kojo Nkrumah, revealed on Wednesday, June 30, that the committee will have 3 members. According to him, the committee will be a credible one and will investigate reported crowd riots and the riot control measures that were employed by the police and later the police and the military in EJURA. Kojo Nkrumah explained the minister responsible for Interior will provide some more details on what will probably be the 3-member committee that will do the inquiry.
Meanwhile, the chief of EJURA has been speaking to my colleague Abdul Basit Suleiman.
One more body ni buy here, one more question here, question. A whole and a youth no called blocker. Principal street road na e free ha e ko yeji atebubu yeji na free ha ko kumaso no nkwala na ko block no the security agencies ne so wa ye wo soldier for police for ha ne other agencies a wo ka mo ne wo me yadwa nto wo ko sin no ko hwe de ntia kwa ne block ne kwa no ko wo ma block sa hyehye niema ese niema ne ade the security for no move ko honom wo ko hwe say there will be peace and order e wo honom. Intimity baby, I'm TV. Our Joy News.
Press star 1
to
to
copy
call at 26 pesos for 60 days and subscribe at 65 pesos for 30 days.
Don't be a move. MTN or employees of MTN will never call you to pay any...
very serious. Mo bahaba shame bossa mo nye dede biabiam. But mo free ha no, mo konzongo ho a mo ye dede se niema. Na security force ba ho a according to wo so mo ne wo de entokwa aginam. Nti asem ne se to be frank me kasa me da na meboa eno na me free say gina so koma tension be pie krom ha sabria me no kasa de nyame adom there's a peace in EJURA here problem be any ha me kasa problem be any ha sa wati me waka me yo kaka ni nyina no bibia ni amofa krom no mo amotimi di ho adanse se krom ajo krom ayedi enti no yes security agencies omo mpanyimfo commanders ne directors no so di akiri asem na achi na mate se so omo hwehwe kwan fa so etuo no toto any ade nti se sinto bi wo ba bia wo mo be ma yehu ne so advice bia the advice security agencies no so that way forward no wo be hu crowd control no so do wo be say ya wo be ye wo nema but we need the me blame wo mo.
Let's now cross over to EJURA where our Ashanti regional correspondent joins us live with more. So what's the current mood in the EJURA township?
The final funeral rites of the late Nasir Surah, where the late final funeral of Muhammad Tarama is taking place at Dagombala right now. We have dignitaries from the National Democratic Congress over here who are here to commiserate with the family of the late Yusuf, who was shot dead recently by the military personnel during a protest here. I have with me here the National Communication Officer of the National Democratic Congress. Good afternoon, welcome to Metro News.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Why are you here?
We are here on behalf of the leadership of the National Democratic Congress to console and mourn with the family of those who have lost their loved ones. As you may be aware, 3 days ago, one Mohammed Ibrahim, aka Kaka, who is a known social media activist and has been advocating for change in EJURA for some time now, was attacked and murdered by some assailants who are believed to be the bodyguards of the municipal chief executive of EJURA. Subsequent to that, and the youth of the area, enraged with the murder of their compatriots, they hit the street of EJURA to register their displeasure about the incident, only for the MCE to deploy a heavily armed military men who attacked them unprovoked, aimed and shot at some of the protesters, killing 2 and injuring many in the process. One of the people who were murdered is Abdul Nasir, and today is our dua for him. And so we are here to mourn with the family, to support them, to console them, and to make them understand that this is not an issue that is restricted or limited to EJURA. It is a national issue. We are all appalled and disgusted about the dastardly way that Nasiru, Mutala, and Kaka have been murdered by the state and vigilantes of the New Patriotic Party. But above all, we are here to also demand for justice, because that is the only way we can appease the souls of the departed and their loved ones. So that is why we are here.
Yeah, looking at the circumstances that led to the killings, would you call for any policy direction as to the operations of these security personnel?
I mean, the first thing that needs to be done is that the municipal chief executive who ordered the, or if you like, deployed the military onto the streets has to be dismissed with immediate effect and prosecuted. The other military officers, the district commander and the police district commander, are also complicit in this matter per the information we are gathering on the ground, which I'm sure you are aware of. They must also be interdicted with immediate effect and taken through the appropriate disciplinary actions. Apart from that, the military officers themselves who carried out the shooting that resulted in the death and the injury of others cannot be spared. They cannot hide behind their uniforms. I don't believe that they are genuine professional military men. These are the normal ear-ring, bearded MPP vigilantes who have been integrated into the security services and who were used to perpetrate atrocities against innocent Ghanaians during the Ayawaso West Wagon by-election and during even the December 7, 2020 elections at Techiman South, Saveligu, Ablekuma Central, and other parts of the country. And so these people will have to be arrested, prosecuted, and punished. That is the only way that justice can be done, and justice will be seen to have been done in this matter. We've been to the hospital to check up on the injured. From here, we'll be going to their houses to also see their families, to console them, to support them, because what has happened is a national issue that undermines our confidence in our security agencies as a people. The bastardization of our security agencies by the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government in the last 4.5 years is reprehensible and condemnable. And the way and manner the atrocities, are going should give every Ghanaian genuine cause for concern. So we are very worried, we are very sad. You can see that written on the faces of all the people who are gathered here. This should not happen in any democracy, that security officers that we pay, will be used to kill us. It's happened one too many, and in all cases the perpetrators have been left off the hook. We are saying that this issue cannot be swept under the carpet as the other cases were dealt with. And so thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was the National Communication Officer of the National Democratic Congress calling for punitive measures against the security personnel who perpetrated this act, and also calling for the dismissal of the municipal chief executive, who happens to be the head of the security in this municipality. We have with us here the member of parliament for this area in the name of Bawa Brema. Good afternoon, Honorable. Welcome to Metro News.
Thank you.
Yeah, how did you receive this news?
The news of the death, I received it with shock, And it started with the death of Kaka, exacerbated by the unwarranted killing of these two youngsters, namely Abdul Nasser, whom we are performing his funeral today, and then Murtala Muhammad. Actually, this death could have been averted, it could have been prevented, because if those who deployed the military had not deployed them, I don't think we would have gotten to where we are today. So, like I said, the unwanted deployment or the wanton deployment of the military in the national internal security of this nation is uncalled for and should be stopped. Is it? It is a worrying situation, because if you look at these youngsters, for soldiers to shoot live bullets into the crowd, I mean, unarmed protesters who saw the army coming and they were retreating and they were running away. There was no need for the soldiers to have fired live bullets into the crowd. So we are calling for the immediate investigation into the issue, and the trigger-happy soldiers who carried out this dastardly act punished.
Thank you very much. That was the Member of Parliament for EJURA Killings's. We have with you here the Director of Election for the National Democratic Congress in the name of Honorable Efrie. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's a very, very worrying trend, because since the MPP government took office, we've all seen the many instances of atrocities meted out to innocent citizens. It started with the Ayawaso West War Gone. In fact, when Ayawaso West War Gone happened, it was as if we were watching a movie. It was so unbelievable that we thought, can this happen in Ghana? And then the president set up the commission. We had our reservations, but I must say that the commission did a very thorough job. Now, what happened to all the recommendations of the commission? They were virtually thrown away. The recommendations that Azugu should be reassigned, the recommendation that there shouldn't be any standing force at the National Security Secretariat, and all those other things, they were jettisoned. Nobody has been punished, nobody has been dealt with up to date. And so, should I continue? Nobody has been punished, nobody has been dealt with up to date. And so, if you look at that trend and you look at all the subsequent things that have happened, the assault on the immediate past regional security coordinator of in Ashanti region, you look at the assault on Caleb Kuda, you look at what happened at Ablekuma Central, you look at what happened in several places, and nothing has happened. It appears to me that this is a deliberate policy of the MPP government led by Nana Akufo-Addo to instill fear into the citizenry, so that citizens will be cowed from speaking out against anything that they find wrong with this government. And that is why it is continuing, and absolutely nothing has happened to any of the perpetrators. So yes, all the analysis that people are doing, I agree with the analysis, but those are just symptoms. We need to deal with the root. The root cause is that this is a deliberate policy of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the security apparatus. It is a strategy that has been used in several other countries, in various countries, African countries that I don't want to mention, in the past and the current. It is meant to cow the citizens into submission, put fear into them so that they will not be able to speak out. And that is the danger. And that is why this is the time for all Ghanaians, irrespective of where you stand. Because you see, when bullets fly, they don't have anybody's name written on it. The young men who came out, I'm told that some of them are even MPP people. So all Ghanaians must begin to come out and speak out against it, because it is endangering our democracy. Who knows what will happen the next time?
Thank you very much. That was the Director of Election of the National Democratic Congress. Currently, the Islamic prayers is underway over here at EJURA Dogomba line for the late Nasir Yusuf. The imams, the imams are here performing the religious rites that is due for any diseased Muslim.
That was Shanti regional correspondent Abdul Basit Suleiman coming all the way with live feed from EJURA, where members of the NDC have visited victims of the EJURA clash. Now, so the director for communications for the NDC, SAMMY, is calling for the dismissal of the MC in the community and also prosecution of him as well. And he's also calling for security personnel who were involved in the clash to be taken through disciplinary activities, for them to also be brought to book. And Elvis Sankara, director of elections, Pito Buamo Tukono, deputy general secretary for the NDC, are all currently there, including Hannah Bisu, who are all there to visit family of the victims. Let's still stay on happenings in EJURA, as the editor-in-chief for the New Crusading Guide, Abdul Malik Kokubako, says deploying of the military to EJURA was unwarranted and uncalled for. He says the state should not dent its image with security unwillingness. Meanwhile, former Deputy Communications Minister Felix Kwakye says the sole person to be blamed for the unrest and mayhem in the country is the president.
Let's express our condolences to the bereaved families, but immediately, outrightly condemn the violence that happened across board, but with specific focus on the state actors, because I think they are trained to know how to handle such situations. The unruly youth, rowdy youth, who went out there in a spontaneous manner, and I want to admit it was spontaneous, were themselves in violation of the law, and some of their conduct was also illegal and unlawful. But that's not where I'm going to focus. I'm focusing on the state actors, in this case the police and the military, but more on the military. But I'm not sure what we had in EJURA was to the level where military intervention was warranted.
That's question. So, assuming without admitting that they don't even have a hand in the propping up of terrorist elements in our security setup, even normal security breaches alone can be heaped at the doorstep of President Akufo-Addo because of this commitment he made. He blamed his predecessor for security breaches. So, if I stand on the rafters and accuse him of being responsible for this, I will be more than justified. But in this instance, he is contributing, I believe personally, by failing to stamp. Randy, I am mentioning no words, and let nobody think that there comes a time when you don't have to tell them. I am mentioning no words. President Akufo-Addo, if he wants this lawlessness to stop, can stop it. Nobody can get into national security at the displeasure of the president. So nobody should make excuses for him again. If he didn't want double in national security, he would not be there. Randy, I have been in government before. Even as a deputy minister, there were things I could stop. Let alone the president with all the power he has. He does not care to the extent that he has satisfied the MPP people. That is what is happening. So, even the moral authority alone, to stamp his authority on the security situation is lost because of his contribution to its undermining. And then you have security chiefs who can't even tell us the truth.
You are still watching NEWSBEAT live on Metro TV Live on DSTV channel 277. When we come back from the break, we'll give you a story about a Kumasi High Court who has slapped government with a $15.3 million judgment debt for the unlawful seizure of excavators. Don't go anywhere. Still, that's be back with more.
Cloth handkerchief gets dirty and wet after wiping your sweat or blowing your nose with it. Keeping a dirty handkerchief in your pocket or bag is very unhygienic. Reusing it increases your chances of getting sick from germs. That is why I always use Flora disposable handkerchiefs. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is disposable, thus making it a more hygienic option. It's thick and very absorbent. With 10 tissues in a pack, Flora disposable handkerchief is better than a cloth handkerchief. with Flora toilet roll, Flora multi-purpose paper towels, Flora table napkins, and Flora box tissues in a shop near you. For both purchases, call Delta Paper Mill on 0243 033 033.
The search for a reliable partner in the sale of U-turn buses, genuine spare parts, its repairs and maintenance at a highly effective workshop with remarkable speed. We also have available the sale of Camel car batteries, Weichai and Kia spare parts, Zonton coaches and light duty vehicles for everyday movement. Contact us on 020 000 0831 or 054 555 7500. You can also email us info@saautomobilegh.com or visit our website at www.saautomobilegh.com. SA Automobile, the pleasure of doing business with you is all ours.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on, the operations manager of Dredge Masters Limited, Sena Kofi Adeyepena, has assured Ghanaians there will be no flooding within the Greater Accra Metropolitan Assembly as a result of the Odo and Kwale rivers overflowing. This, he says, is due to the level of dredging works completed on the Kwale and the Odo rivers under the Accra Sanitary Sewer Stormwater Drainage Alleviation Project. Upon a visit to the two rivers, he called on the government to evict encroachers within the buffer zones of the rivers to enable them to have free access to the place.
Started this work early this year, January, and as at the time he visited, we're about 70% completed. As it stands now, you see behind me, there are no islands. It's clean, it's able to retain all the flow from upstream, that's from Caprice through Circle to this section, and finally out into the sea. So that the main aim of this project is an urban drainage and flood control project. We have ensured that prior to the sad occurrence or incident of the June 3rd, 2015, we've not had any similar incident or any form of flooding along the stretch. So we stand in a good position to ensure that there's no flooding this year and beyond. We are upstream, as I'm speaking to you, constantly monitoring the situation in the drains, so much that we are currently desilting the lined section of the Odo, which we have observed to be silted, in order to restore the capacity and ensure ease of flow within the drain. Work is still very far advanced as we are in the rainy season. That is what allows the flow downstream. For the downstream, which you have the upper and lower Kwale Lagoon, it's completed. It has been dredged to design so much that whenever it rains, whatever is coming from upstream, it's able to be retained and allowed to flow out into the sea without any issues. There have been two key challenges, in all of this. First is the encroachment on the banks by squatters and also certain construction works that don't respect the buffer area. It makes it very difficult to assess the banks or work along, ensure that we work to meet the schedule. Then we have the issue of solid waste disposal, where you have those on the banks directly disposing of the waste into the drain to allow it to flow from upstream, downstream, and into the sea. And that, aside the silt and debris we are taking now, we've had to deal with other waste, which doesn't make the work any easier. But we still are delivering on our mandate to ensure that whatever the case be, we need to ensure the drains are clean, the lagoon is clean, and dredged to its depth and design to accommodate and allow free flow of water.
Away from that, many have noted that since the start of the coronavirus pandemic in early 2020, Jehovah's Witnesses have not been seen knocking on people's doors. Many religious meetings were halted for a while, and then restrictions set in as to the number of people permitted to gather in enclosed and open places of worship. The question on the lips of many is, have Jehovah's Witnesses stopped preaching to people now? So to talk about this and other issues such as the upcoming 2021 Convention of Jehovah's Witnesses, we have been joined via Zoom by Public Relations Officer of the Jehovah's Witnesses in Ghana, Daniel Adjen. Welcome to NEWSBEAT on Metro TV. So Jehovah's Witnesses are known in the light of evangelism. They enter any house, office or space to preach to people. How has this evangelism drive your meetings and preachings changed due to COVID-19 pandemic?
Thank you very much once again. The fact that it's true that Jehovah's Witnesses are not knocking on doors like it's our custom. We are not going to the Kingdom Hall for our gatherings, as many people know us to do. And the baseline here is love. Love for God and for neighbor. When it became evident that the world was dealing with a deadly pandemic that will transmit by close proximity, then you know that this is about the sanctity of life, the preciousness of life. And so while our worship was not interrupted, adjustments had to be made so that the public aspects of it will reflect the respect for God as a life giver and also love for our neighbor, protecting our own lives and the lives of others. And that's why this convention you highlighted would have been held at Bachona on the Spintex Road with thousands of people coming together around the country. And but it's not being done now for the sake of life, the preciousness of life.
All right, so we also want to find out, tell us more about your upcoming 2021 convention.
Yeah, the 2021 convention would have been held over 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And but it's been broken down into 6 sections now that it's going virtual. So these will be uploaded onto jw.org. Actually, the program for this weekend is already uploaded on jw.org. The interesting thing is that jw.org supports over 1,031 languages, including 12 Ghanaian languages. And so whether you speak Ahanta, Frafra, Chi, Dagari, Ga, Ewe, Fanti, it's all there. And Zima, in addition to that. So you can go down there and download it, and you can watch it in the safety of your home. Or you can ask any Jehovah's Witness you know. They will give you the link or even the files so that people can watch from the safety of their homes.
Thank you, sir, for time that's here on NEWSBEAT. And so if you miss Jehovah's Witnesses knocking on your door, you just might want to log on to this link to join their convention upcoming. Coming up next is business, and Kenneth just is here with everything.
Well, thank you very much, Bright. Up next is business. Stay with us. Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission says it has received liquidation order for 3 of the defunct financial management companies. According to the Deputy Director of SEC, Paul Abibio, the Registrar General will engage stakeholders through creditors' meeting to spell out how investors can sign up for the bailout.
Then we also have powers of freezing assets. Now, basically, this is a power that is given to us when we realize that you are committing a crime. And if you are committing a crime and people have assets with you, we need to go to court to get an order to freeze these assets from moving. Otherwise, the next thing is that this asset is going to move from the firm's name into your private name or into a sister's name or a relative's name. Then finally, we have powers of issuing penalties. This happens on a daily basis, and the penalty ranges from 50 penalty units to 4,500 penalty units. Currently, 1 penalty unit is 12 cedis under the Fines and Penalty Units Act of 2005. So 50 penalty units will be 600, and then 4,500 penalty units will be 54,000 cedis. Next. So this brings me to the end of the first part. So the second part will be the role of the media, which I consider very, very important. The Act 929 recognized the need for use or collaboration with the media. And as a result, certain provisions were made in it, and we intend to share some of those provisions with you. But before that, we will see 2 brief videos on advertisements on TVs.
The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, has expressed excitement over Ghana being finally delisted from the Financial Action Task Force grey list. According to him, this is a great relief to the country as this renews the international community's confidence in Ghana's anti-money laundering and countering the financial of tourism regime. He said this at a press briefing in Accra.
The issue of the beneficial ownership is very important. Because then your ability to hide money through other systems are curtailed, and as we get more digitalized, you can't really have handbags of money flowing through the borders or anything for you to be able to get it into the financial system, and that is key. So the strengthening of the NGO area, strengthening of FIC, awareness by the public and the institutions, so that there's self-regulation and clear penalties would also come into play here. When we talk about investments and a country has gone through this type of exercise, you're also going to have flight to quality. So then Ghana is seen as a destination of clean investment, and that's going to be helpful for us as we look.
Let's now take a look at how the city is performing against other major trading currencies and also the prices of some commodities on the world market. Well, that'll be it for the business segment of the news. Bright is standing by for the rest of the news.
All right, and so still watching this be live on Metro TV. A quick time, we'll be back with more.
In Ghana and in Africa, there is only one place to look to get that luxurious design and decor for your offices and homes. Visit Jamila Home. We give you the climax of luxury wherever you find yourself. Presidential and executive office furniture, living room sets, dining set, stunning mirrors, adorable wallpapers, lovely king and queen size beds, valuable antiques and antique goods, beautiful chandeliers and more. Into the bargain, we provide caring customer service, prompt delivery service, skilled and artistic full house design and decor services, and free decor ideas for your space. Our products and service is unparalleled, boasting of top-tier clients all over the globe. Jamila Home, home of first-class quality furniture, beautiful chandeliers, and antiques.
Welcome back, and now Phil John quotation standby with the latest in the world of sports.
Thank you very much, Bright. We're talking about Ghana football. Fire Rangers are in the news. We also focus on Lionel Messi, whose contract as a spy with Spanish side Barcelona. Up next, we are bringing you the latest in sports. Is failed John Kwakye, the Ghana Football Association decision to ban Division 1 side Far Rangers for 5 years after they were found guilty have been met with mixed reaction from the football fraternity. An executive committee member of the FA, Dr. Randy Abbey, has indicated that Far Rangers can appeal against the decision.
The matter was referred to the disciplinary committee. The disciplinary committee has come with its ruling. It's giving reasons and the legal grounding for its decision. In the same decision, it says that any aggrieved party or any party that does not, agree or accept the decision has 3 days to file an appeal. We know that that's due process. And so I think that anybody who disagrees with the decision has the opportunity to file an appeal. And so rather than, engage in whether they were right or they were wrong, I've seen the decision. I have read it. I've not taken my time to analyze it, but I just read it because it is a matter that affects Ghana football. But I think that if anybody disagrees with the legal reasoning, there is a remedy. And so we would wait. At least there's 48 more hours for any appeal to be filed. And once the appeal is filed, the appropriate body would also look at the appeal and, of course, the decision that is led to the appeal, and the appeals committee would give a ruling on the issue.
Well, let's focus on Olympic Games and preparation. Ghana's team have been warned against the COVID-19 situation in Japan. President of the Republic did the advice when the team called on him at the presidency here in the nation's capital, Accra.
The mask you're wearing tells you about the situation we are in the world today. And where you're going, they have quite a big problem there. So also be very careful. Take very good care of yourselves. Follow the protocols, the health and COVID protocols, and don't go and get contaminated over there and ruin your Olympic Games. So you have to look after yourselves very well. And we will be here, we'll be cheering you on. Now I've got all these disciplines, weightlifting, boxing, judo, swimming, and athletics. I'll be following it very, very keenly. If you hear some screams, it'll be from me here in Ghana, shouting for you over there. So I wish you the very, very best of luck. And remember that all 31 million people of us here will be shouting for you and urging you on and willing you to do well for yourselves and for the country. The very best of luck to you. And I'm hoping that when you come back, you bring back a medal or two to come and show me here that you went and you succeeded.
President Akufo-Addo speaking to Team Ghana members as they prepare to leave for Japan. Actually, they are already in Japan preparing for the games, which will start on the 21st of July in Tokyo. Let's go to South America now. Lionel Messi, the Argentine international who plies his trade for Spanish side Barcelona, is in a fix. He had to wait to take a decision whether to stay with the Spanish side or move on. We've been told that his contract has expired.
Lionel Messi
Vito Santos is a new manager at Tottenham Hotspur in the EPL. That's your sports. My name is Felix Kwakye. Ever beautiful Harriet is standing by for showbiz. Harriet?
Thank you, Johnny. Well, it's time for entertainment on Newsbeat. My name is Harriet Addy. There's more after this. Ghanaian music superstars Sarkodie and Stonebwoy have reacted to the recent shooting incidents that happened in Nigeria, leaving 3 people dead. They took to Twitter to share how they felt about the killings. Now, Stonebwoy says, since the system keeps frustrating us, the citizens, we will have no option than to go outside. We only go outside to air our voices, seeking attention to the problems we face as citizens. Anything contrary to that is not our intent. Justice for Kaka, justice for EJURA. Also, he says, they were only venting their frustration, yet the men and women who have sworn an oath to protect us and serve us with integrity attacked them. We need justice for Kaka. We need to hold the police and military responsible for the loss of lives in EJURA. Hashtag outside, hashtag Nagoin. Sarkodie also says, definitely not the Ghana we preach to the world. He actually retweeted a video where we posted on Twitter about the shootings that happened in EJURA. Meanwhile, Stonebwoy has released a song in solidarity with the hashtag Fix the Country protesters and the recent happenings at EJURA. Take a listen.
As I'm in a press it, why you make the whole of the cities in them stressing? We feel a lot of pain, but we can't express it. Don't you gonna make it a better place for the poor, but you're wicked to the core. You are amassing wealth for your greedy self, so you're making it a living hell. When poor people rise up one day, we gonna revolute again. Me nah go eat, me nah go eat. We outside, we outside.
The African Union, in partnership with the International Committee of the All Africa Music Awards, AFRIMA, has formally unveiled the calendar of events for the upcoming 2021 edition. Well, that's it for entertainment news on Newsbeat. My name is Harriet Addy. Up next is International News with Bright.
Welcome back. Now, on the international front, more than 100 civilians abducted by militants in Mozambique's Cabo Delgado province have been rescued. Army Commander Christopher Chium said those rescued were mainly women and children, and they would be handed over to the authorities for social support. I am Bright Nakwesi Amani, and that's it for the news here on Newsbeat. I am Bright. Have a good afternoon. Bye.